When you look at Jesus and his interaction with the disciples, the first promise that he gives them is that I will make you fishers of men. And the last command is related to going out and making disciples. And he has no plan B. Like, that is his way that he is going to bring light to the darkness in the world, is through his people. My name is Christopher Ledesma, and I'm the disciple-making pastor here at Garden City.
Gerald Murphy, and I'm the senior leader here at Garden City. Garden City exists to minister to the Lord as a family and obey him daily. When you think about obeying Jesus, his last commandment was to go and make disciples of the nations. And so it was really just a matter of what does that look like to rally an entire church community around that focus. And we didn't know what we were going to do. And so we prayed for about 4 months that God would send us a pastor for disciple making. And then this guy showed up, Christopher showed up. And then by October of 2023, we were sharing with the church that we were going to be taking the entire church through disciple making training at the start of January 2024. And we have just crossed into month 10 of doing the disciple making training with the church.
My name is Derek, and my wife Katie and I have been attending Garden City for about 3.5 years. And when I sat down with Gerald early on, just getting to know him, getting to know a little bit more about the church, one of the things that was important to me and my family was discipleship. And he said that he had a heart for that as well, and to stay tuned. And the beginning of this year, we started a church-wide discipleship training program, 2 Sundays a month. We would gather in round tables here in the sanctuary, and we would go through tools and practices, and then we would go and implement them on our own.
Jesus did not say to the disciples, let's meet once a week at the Jerusalem Cafe and study the Torah. He said, follow me. In other words, watch what I do so that I can send you to do what I do. And a lot of times we communicate information to people and have an expectation that they will go out and do it or obey it or apply it, but we haven't given them the practical tools to do so. Neither have we even shown them how to do it. And that's what we really wanted to capture in our gatherings.
I think there was a lot of nerves among the congregation about what does this look like? It takes stepping out in faith to come and sit at a round table versus in chairs or in pews and listening to Gerald's amazing teaching, right? All of a sudden, there's homework, you have to go out and do these things, and then when you come back, there's accountability. We're gonna talk about how that went. So I think it was really a step of faith for the church as a whole, and then in my own journey of just being comfortable with the uncomfortable, if you will.
Going into this, I was very clear that I would be training people who didn't necessarily sign up for this, that did not come to Garden City to be given practical tools and then have a measure of accountability to implementing those tools.
There were people that decided not to participate, and some have left the church altogether. But I know for us as a team, one of the things that's helped us be willing to pay that cost is how we define success. And for us, success very simply is defined by obedience.
The cost of seeing people leave or to not engage was definitely painful at times. But the testimonies of people who said, I've been following Jesus for 30 years, but this is the first time I've actually felt like I've been able to make a difference. The cost is bitter, but the fruit is sweet.
Confidence is always a challenge, if I'm just being honest. I think we want to have all of the answers. What if somebody asks me a question about God that I don't know? And I think it's just being vulnerable and saying, it's okay, let's figure it out together. If you're nervous about disciple making, start to cultivate relationships with people that you might be able to disciple.
I think it's so important to see Jesus himself as the motivation, the beauty and worth of Jesus. The Lord himself, I feel like, is really drawing the church, drawing his bride into this focus, into this emphasis of his presence through prayer and the mission of making disciples. And it's just really, really encouraging.